Hey there, fellow nature wanderers. If you're like me, you love spending time outdoors, breathing in that fresh air and connecting with the natural world. But at home, have you ever thought about what's in the products you use every single day? That's why I'm excited to share Apple Valley Natural Soap with you. Their handcrafted all-natural soaps are made with organic ingredients, essential oils, and no harsh chemicals. Awesome! So they're not only great for your skin, but they're safe for the planet. And they don't just stop at soap. Apple Valley Natural Soap also carries a full line of natural skincare products, including shampoos, body butters, facial bars, and more. All designed to nourish your skin without synthetic ingredients. You can't beat that. That's just awesome. Whether you're hiking in the woods or just winding down after a long day, their products bring a little bit of nature right into your home. And the best part? By supporting Apple Valley Natural Soap through The Nature Wanderer, you're also supporting this podcast. Just head to the show notes and click on the link for Apple Valley Natural Soap. So go ahead, treat yourself and the environment to something better. Your skin and Mother Nature will thank you. Now let's get on with our adventure. Hello friends, and welcome once again to the Nature Wanderer podcast. I'm your host Paul, and today we're out conserving the environment. Yes, we're helping the planet. Happy Earth Day to everybody. I know today's not Earth Day, but it was Earth Day. And I know I wanted to do this before Earth Day, this podcast, but I decided, nope, let's do it afterwards, because Earth Day is just last Tuesday, 2 days ago, if you're listening to this on the day of release. And for those of you who are not familiar with Earth Day is a time, it started in 1970. There was a movement to basically bring people's awareness to the plight of our planet, the stuff that's going bad in our planet, what people are doing, how companies are polluting, and it really took off. I mean, it really took off, and people started to understand that, hey, wow, we're putting all these pesticides into our environment that we shouldn't. We're treating our environment as if though, the planet is expendable. Everything is renewable, and we can just keep wasting, and we can keep polluting, and everything will be okay. And this was a way to bring people's attention to this, and they started to wake up and realize that, hey, I should be paying attention. And so Earth Day started, it took off. There was thousands of people who participated in the first Earth Day, and it just kind of spread from there. So today I'm out and about in a local park. I'm at Chestnut Ridge Park today. I've got my little garbage bag with me, and I'm walking along some of the trails and picking up some trash as I go along. So I'm on a conservation mission. I do this every Earth Day, where I go out and I kind of see what I can do to help the planet. Sometimes I'll join another group to do it, other times I just do it myself. And today I decided I'm just going to come out and, do it myself and clean up along the trails that I enjoy hiking on. So that's what I'm doing today. So I'd like to invite you along here. Grab your walking stick, or maybe just a comfy chair by the window, and listen and enjoy learning about nature. So, nature lovers, I am here, as I said, at Chestnut Ridge Park, and I am cleaning up trash as I hike through the park, and I'm just conserving the environment, helping nature. It's a beautiful day in the park today. A little bit chilly today. A little bit chilly. We had some rain yesterday, and it was a cold front coming in, so it cooled off a little bit. I can't wait for summer to get here. But it's still a nice day. It's overcast. There's a few breaks in the cloud, a little bit of sunshine here and there. And as I was saying, this is the way I like to spend my Earth Days, is helping Mother Nature. That's what Earth Day was all about. But to me, I always believe Earth Day is every day. And I decided this year what I want to do is kind of encourage everyone through this podcast to help the environment. And do it not just on one day a year. I'm always promoting Earth Day. Get out, help nature on Earth Day. But I like to promote it every day. I think that it's really easy to do if people just give it an effort. And you may wonder, what sort of effort do I need to give? I mean, is this going to be difficult? Am I going to have to spend a lot of time? And I'll tell you right now, no. No, you don't have to spend a lot of time. It's not a huge effort to do this. It's actually pretty simple to take care of the planet every single day. And the way I like to promote that is, it's just simple habits. We get stuck in our ways, and we just do things over and over again, whether it's good for us or not. And the same thing goes with helping the environment. You know, it's, hey, this is the way I've always done it. You know, I've always had a great big pickup truck that's a gas guzzler. Guilty. Yeah, I used to have a pickup truck because I felt I needed it to haul things, to get things around, to plow my driveway, to, you know, it's like I had to have a pickup truck. But when my pickup truck started to die, I thought it over. And it's like, you know, that gas guzzling pickup truck is not helping the environment. Can I do without it? And I convinced myself that I could. And so I didn't get a pickup truck. I actually got a small hybrid car, and a plug-in hybrid, no less. And so that one little change in my attitude. And has it worked out? Yeah. Have I needed to haul stuff? Yeah. But what do I do if I have to haul something? Well, like I had a couch that we purchased, and I didn't pick it up. I just had the company deliver it, the store deliver it. Paid a little extra for it. My daughter and son-in-law have a pickup truck if I need it. My son does too. If I need a pickup truck for something, I can give them a call too. You know, so there's ways around having that gas guzzling pickup truck. One little change, one habit change that I made, and it's helping the environment. So that's what I'm talking about, is doing simple little things. And it doesn't have to be a big purchase or anything. It's just simple things you do in your life. So I wanted to go through a few things, habits that you may want to consider that I've done, and it's actually fairly simple. So let's think about some everyday conservation ideas, simple acts that make big impacts. And of course, you've heard this a million times. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Okay, that's a really practical tip for you. But how many of us really do it well? Okay, how many do it well? I see where I live, small little subdivision in a town, I have recycling every other week. I have a big recycling bin, and they pick up the recycling every other week. And then the garbage goes out every week. There's some weeks, a lot of weeks actually, that I don't even put a garbage can out. Because most of what I have, I either reuse, I reduce what I have taken in, or I recycle it. So I wish they did recycling every week, but they don't. Yet I see people putting their recycle bins out every single week. And that just goes in the regular garbage then. Our garbage people are not that great. I'm not going to mention any names, but if you don't have things just right, they won't deal with it. First week I was there, I wasn't sure how things went. First week we moved into our house, I put my recycle bin out, and it was full because we had just moved. I had all these packing boxes and all, and then I had a stack of cardboard boxes sitting right next to it. The recycle truck came, picked up the recycle bin because the guy didn't want to get out of the truck, so they just have this mechanical arms that picks it up and dumps it into the back of the truck, and it emptied the recycle bin, and then I'm watching and waiting for him to pick up the cardboard, and he didn't. He just went by, left. I'm like, well, what are you doing? So I waited a little longer, and here comes the regular garbage truck. They tossed it all in the back of the garbage truck. Oh, it drives me crazy. But anyhow, I tried, and that's what a lot of people don't, though. You know, they don't understand how it works. Now I understand how it works, and I know everything has to be in that bin, but simple habit. Get in the habit of recycling as much as you can. Know how to recycle. Know what they will take. Know what they won't take. I have a place where I can take extra cardboard, luckily, where they will recycle cardboard. So I usually keep my cardboard aside. That way, if it's recycling week, I can put it into the recycling bin. If it's not recycling week, then I just take it to this other place where I can recycle the cardboard. So I keep that a little bit separate from the rest of it. Now, they might not recycle glass. Try to find a place that recycles glass. So anyhow, best thing to do, reduce. Yeah, reduce what you're putting into the landfills. I apologize, a little bit windy today. Yeah, I got that cold front moving, like I said. So if it gets a little windy, I apologize for that. Reduce things, though. That's the big thing. And if you can reuse it, reuse it. You know, I'm always trying to find ways to reuse items that I have instead of them ending up in a landfill. Now, the next thing is that I want to talk about is to do composting, your food waste. I mean, it goes into the garbage. A lot of people put it in the garbage, they don't compost. If you have a lot of food waste, which we all have some food waste, I don't care how good you are at cooking, how good you are at, divvying out meals and all. I mean, you peel an orange, where are those orange peels going? In the garbage, usually. So, best thing to do is to compost them. We have a place called Farmers Pirates around us, and they actually do some composting for you. You have to pay a small fee every month, and you can drop off your compost at a designated location in your town. And I did that for a while, but I just bought a compost bin for my new house, and we're going to start composting at the house. So composting is great to do, because otherwise all that waste, I know, it will break down in the landfill, but what kind of garbage bag are you putting it in? I pay a little extra, and I get the decomposing garbage bags. They're kind of a light green color, and they're light duty. So, I mean, you can't put a lot of heavy, pointed stuff in there. It's just going to break through the bag. But honestly, I've never had a problem with it. It's never leaked. I've never had a problem with these bags. But they will biodegrade much easier in the landfill. So I purposely get that. Simple change you can do. Stop getting the plastic ones that take sometimes hundreds of years to break down. I've seen how landfills work. And they do go in there with some heavy equipment to kind of break things up, spread them out so that they'll break down easier. But that plastic doesn't break down. And sometimes the big heavy equipment, it misses a garbage bag. And it sits there, and all your food waste that's supposed to be decomposing is inside that plastic, not decomposing. So simple switch. Just start getting biodegradable garbage bags. If you can compost, do it. Some towns, I know, they don't allow it, but if your town allows it, try composting. How about saving energy at home? Another simple thing. What kind of light bulbs do you have? If you're still using incandescent light bulbs, get rid of them. Recycle them. Get rid of them. Switch over to LEDs. If you have compact fluorescents, that's all right. They do save more energy than incandescent light bulbs, but not as much as LED light bulbs. So as much as you can switch over to LED light bulbs, do it. Okay, so another simple thing you can do, change your mentality. Go around, see what appliances you have that are using up a lot of energy. Do you have something that stays on? Ghost energy. Some things like our TVs. They are constantly drawing energy because we want them to turn on right away. They're in standby mode. They actually make power strips that we'll have on there where they will only turn on. They will only take power when they're physically turned on. So you turn the TV on. It may take a couple of seconds for it to actually power on. Are you in that much of a hurry to see your show? You can take, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It doesn't take that long. And it saves energy. So go around your house at night with the lights off, and carefully, please. But look around, see what's glowing. Are there little lights glowing? That's usually some appliance or something that's using extra energy. Maybe you want to switch appliances. Time to buy a new appliance. Look for that energy seal. So simple things, check your energy in your home. See what you are doing. Check your thermostat. Get a smart thermostat. Lower your heat in the winter. Does it have to be at 75 degrees? Hope not. But maybe put it down. I have a smart thermostat that learns my habits when we're home, when we're not home, and it will adjust for all of that. And it lowers the temperature, raises it in the morning before I wake up, so that before I go to work, it's nice and warm in there. So get a smart thermostat. They're not that expensive, and it will pay for itself. So I know a lot of people think about the money. It's like, oh no, I can't do that. Cooling costs in the summertime. I hate air conditioning. I get sinus infections when I'm using air conditioning. I get earaches when I'm using I don't like air conditioning. I rarely turn ours on. But if you're a big air conditioner person, that's fine. Try to use it as little as possible. Instead of putting it down to 65 degrees in your house, put it at 72, a comfort zone. So try to keep it at the proper temperature. Once again, smart thermostat will help you with that. And water conservation is the last thing I'm going to talk about in your home. Easy fixes. Check for leaks. Check for leaky faucets. Fix them. Don't let them keep dripping. If you are taking a shower, take a shorter shower. Don't take a real long shower. I know they're wonderful, especially in the winter time where you've been out hiking all day and you're sore and you just want to, sit in that shower and let it beat on you. And try to take a shorter one. Get low flow fixtures. You basically think about how you're using your water. Are you wasting water? Are you conserving water? And try to do better with that. Try to use as little water as possible. Don't waste it. If you do water your plants outside, I know we have some listeners in arid regions of the country, and maybe it gets dry and you need to keep those plants watered. Well, try replanting, some plants that don't require a lot of water. Mindful watering. So water as little as possible those plants. Just give them what they need. Don't overwater them. Water in the morning, early morning. Late evening is even better. Okay, late evening, because then they can soak up all that water during the cool temperatures overnight. They can just soak it right in, and it'll give them the nutrients they need. If you water in the middle of the day, that water is just evaporating so quickly. The plants aren't benefiting from it. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about, some other easy ways to help the environment, is in your backyard, and also some local conservation. So first of all, if you're doing plantings in your yard, native species. Yeah, the native species will attract native pollinators. So you want to get those native pollinators, and also native species require less water. So I was just talking about water conservation. Well, this plant native species, usually they are native to that area. If you live in an arid region, they're used to having dry weather. So they will be able to handle it better than a plant that, is like, where's the water? I'm thirsty. Give me more. Give me more. So yeah, native species is always good to plant if you are doing new plantings in your yard. And it's not just the water thing. Like I said, it attracts pollinators. Do a bird-friendly yard. Put up feeders, bird baths. Also, if you're going to attract the birds to your yard, if you have large windows, maybe you have a bay window, maybe you have a sliding glass door, put decals on the windows. That way the birds can see it. They don't know glass. They don't understand glass. They can't see it. But if you have these decals on your windows, they can see those and they understand, oh, there's something there. I shouldn't fly into it. So protect the birds. I mean, yes, attract the birds to your yard, but make sure that you're not setting up a danger zone for them. So get those bird-friendly yards out there, bring the birds in, give them a place. I mean, bird numbers have gone down. Habitat loss, also because of climate change. So let's get those numbers back up by giving them new places to come, like your backyard. Another thing you can do is no mow May. And you're probably thinking, what the heck is he talking about? He's talking a different language here. No mow May. Yeah. No mowing during the month of May. So don't mow your lawn. It helps with the insects, the birds. They like that taller grass. It also, if you have really short grass, it dries out, and what are you going to do? You're going to water it. Yeah, it just requires more water. Also, by not mowing, unless you have an electric lawnmower, and even then, where's your electricity coming from? But I have a gas mower. Sorry, I keep trying to get an electric one. I haven't found the one I want. But anyhow, I use gasoline, and that's never good. So the more I have to mow, the more gasoline I'm using. And gasoline, it's fossil fuel, not good for the environment. So that's why No Mow May is a great idea for you. And another thing you can do in your community, start a cleanup or join a cleanup. Either one. Like I'm doing here today. I'm walking through the park. I haven't seen a lot. I love how people respect this park. There's certain areas every once in a while I will see a lot of garbage, but I haven't had to pick up a lot. I have picked up some. I've got maybe a quarter of garbage bag full. It's early spring, middle of summer, when all the crowds get here because school's out and everyone's coming to the park to enjoy it. There is a lot more garbage then, but yeah, join a cleanup or do one on your own. Now let's talk about a little bit of a bigger picture, okay? Conservation in the wild, supporting bigger ecosystems, not just in your home, not just in your backyard, not just in your community, but the bigger picture. What can you do for that? Once again, habits. Make it a habit. It'll stick. It'll be so much easier for you to do as long as you make it a habit. And that's the problem. A lot of us don't make these things habits. Support land trusts, conservancies. They preserve these habitats that we need to keep the environment healthy. And if you support them either financially or volunteering, it makes a huge difference. Volunteer with a local wildlife organization. There's a lot of them out there. I'm not sure where you live, but I'm sure if you look it up online or you go to your local Yellow Pages, you'll find some wildlife organizations that you can support. Do leave no trace principles. Whenever you're hiking, okay, leave no trace. Stay on the trails. I just did an episode on leave no trace, so go back to that episode, listen to that. That way I don't have to re-list everything, but basically take care of when you're hiking. pick up the garbage along the trail. Don't leave garbage. Walk on solid surfaces. Basically leave it the way you found it. Citizen science. Oh, yeah. Here goes Paul again. I was ranting about citizen science. Yes, by now, unless this is your first time listening, I am a huge citizen science person. I do agree and enjoy citizen science projects. I think it's very important. So whether it's monitoring bluebird boxes, like I took on monitoring the bluebird boxes at a state park, you can do that too. You can maybe help monitor them, maybe not just be the only monitor. Do some bird counts. Frog watch. It's springtime. Yeah, the frogs are going to start calling soon. And it helps scientists when you start counting them and you start letting them know, collecting data for them. So join some citizen science projects. And of course, if you don't want to do all of that and you're a homebody, you're not a socialite, that's fine too. You can do stuff at home that helps the big picture. Things like buying less and buying better. So when you're buying things, conscious consumerism. Basically, buy things that will last longer. Not things that are going to last like 2 weeks and you're going to have to buy a new one. Something that doesn't take a lot of batteries, eco-friendly goods. Support sustainable brands. So I always look for like fair trade. I look for the Rainforest Alliance brands. So I support products and companies that do have environmentally good standards. So I don't want some company who is trashing the environment to make a profit. And you can do your research on that. I had someone who was telling me, oh, I can't believe you support them. And I'm like, what? I thought they were environmentally friendly. And so I said, oh, no, you should do your research. And I researched this company. I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe they aren't as environmentally friendly as I thought. So, research. You can find that online. So support sustainable brands and certifications. Look for those certifications too. And eat with the planet in mind. When you're buying your groceries, think about where it came from. Think about how it was harvested. Think about the environment. Is this, a product that has palm kernel oil in it? Palm kernel oil is like terrible for the environment. The way they grow it and they chop down rainforest to plant it, and it's terrible. But do your research. Just do your research. The research doesn't take long, and once you know the research, you know what you should be doing. It's so easy to make it a habit. Once you start doing it, it's so easy. Now, and the last thing I want to talk about is advocacy. Okay. Environmental advocacy. So let's start advocating for the planet. When you get out and vote each year, vote for environmentally friendly politicians. I know it's hard to tell sometimes. Some of them will lie. Okay, a lot of them will lie through their teeth. I don't want to get too political here, but a lot of them will lie through their teeth and say, oh yeah, I'm going to help the environment, and then they turn around, they get in office, and they don't. I've seen it before where politicians say that they are going to do this for the environment, do that, and then they turn around, they open it up to logging, and they open up, they start reducing the size of national monuments, and it's like, yeah, so try to do your research, vote for the politicians who are environmentally friendly. No, it's hard to find. Sign petitions, okay? Support green legislation. There's a lot of groups out there who are checking out all legislation that has to deal with the environment, and they will tell whether it's good or bad. I mean, sometimes it sounds like, hey, this sounds good for the environment, but it's not, And how do you know? Well, they've got people out there researching all this. They're going through these bills line by line. They're seeing who is sponsoring them and who it really is helping. Sometimes it's big corporations, so you got to watch out. So find that out. Find out the different organizations that do this research. Union of Concerned Scientists is one that I'm on their website a lot, checking out, what's going on in the environment as far as legislation goes, and sign petitions. Do the politicians listen? Do you get enough people signing the petition and standing up to fight for it? Yeah, they will listen. They have to if they want to be reelected. Talk to friends about it. A lot of people. My brother sent me an email because he's a big national park person, and he saw what's been going on with the national parks lately, and so he said, can you sign this petition? And I did, and I sent him one back from another group that I follow, and I says, yeah, well, this is what's going on here too. And it's like, so the two of us have been talking back and forth, and he's never been a huge environmental activist, but I think I'm starting to turn him into one. So yeah, start talking with friends about it. Don't get political about it, just let them know the facts, let them know what's going on. Let them make their own decision, whether they want to support it or not. And the big one for me, support environmental education for both kids and adults. So share this podcast with people. Share it with others. Share some other good environmental podcasts. Start donating to groups that hold environmental education programs. All of these things will help. So I know I did a lot, and I'll be honest with you, I could have made this a 3-hour podcast episode, but I won't. There's so much you can do in your life. I always try to live an environmentally friendly lifestyle. Am I 100% environmentally friendly? No, it's hard to do, if not impossible, but I do my best. I try to do what I can to help the environment and everything I do in my life. Cycling, whether it's composting, whether it's watching the products that I buy, the diet that I have. I don't do anything, I won't eat anything that's environmentally unfriendly, like meat. I avoid meat completely. Any dairy products are out of my diet. So simple things that you can do. I've been doing it for years, and I'm adding stuff all the time too. It's like, oh, I didn't realize that was so bad. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. And like I said, maybe like 5 years ago, I switched from a gas guzzling truck to a friendly, plug-in hybrid car. So something that's going to help the environment more than that gas guzzling truck that we had. So things like that. Just one step at a time. Don't do it all at once. That's how people usually fail. It's like when you have 20 New Year's resolutions and you don't do any. It's because you put too much on your plate. Maybe do one at a time. Add one thing today. Add one thing next week. Add something the following week. But make it a habit. Make it easy for yourself. Don't sit there and try to do it all at once. Don't make it too difficult, because then you will fail at it. So it's easy to help the environment, and it's easy to make every day Earth Day. I hope you enjoyed listening today. Thank you for joining me. Be certain to share the podcast with your nature-loving friends so that they can learn more about the natural world around them as well. And if you'd like to support the podcast, visit the show notes for a link to my Ko-Fi page. You can also support the podcast by purchasing awesome items at my online merch store. And if you like to journal your wanderings through nature, be certain to purchase a Nature Wanderer Nature Journal. All the links are in the show notes. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Stop back next week for another episode of the Nature Wanderer podcast. Have a great one, and above all, keep exploring the nature around you. Hello, friends. I hope you're out wandering through nature, exploring the natural world around you. Do you enjoy writing about your wanderings? Nature journaling is an awesome, fun way to remember all the adventures you have taken and how you felt during those journeys. If you're looking for some beautiful journals to keep track of all your wanderings, I have several available on Amazon, including some guided journals for children. Start your journey in journaling by clicking on the link in the show notes. Keep exploring the nature around you and keep journaling all your wanderings.